Imagine trusting someone with your children. Imagine falling in love with that very person, marrying them, and building a new life together, only for it all to end with you beaten to death in your own bedroom. That's exactly what happened to Jason Corbett, an Irish widower who fell in love with his American nanny, Molly Martens. What started as a storybook romance quickly spiraled into a nightmare that left Jason dead, his children torn apart, and a courtroom drama that still sparks debate today. Was it truly self-defense, or was it a cold, calculated killing? Jason Corbett was born in Limerick, Ireland. He married his first love, Margaret, and together they had 2 children, Jack and Sarah. But tragedy struck when Margaret died unexpectedly in 2006, leaving Jason a widower in his 30s with 2 very young kids. Friends describe Jason as a devoted father, hardworking, responsible, but overwhelmed, and needed help caring for the children. That's when Molly Martens entered his life. Molly, a 24-year-old from Tennessee, came to Ireland as an au pair. She wasn't just a nanny, she quickly became part of the family. She bonded with Jack and Sarah, and within a short time, her relationship with Jason turned romantic. By 2008, Jason and Molly were officially a couple, and by 2011, they were married. Together, with the kids, they left Ireland for North Carolina, Molly's home state. On the outside, it looked like a happy ending. Jason had found love again, and the children had gained a stepmother. But beneath the surface, things weren't so perfect. Jason's family, back in Ireland, claimed Jason wasn't as happy as he seemed. They said he wanted to leave Molly, and that he worried about her temper on the other side. Molly painted a different picture. She said Jason was controlling, that she lived in fear, and that she was desperate for a way out. This tension between 2 very different narratives would later become central in the courtroom. In the early hours of August 2nd, police were called to the Corbett home in Davidson County, North Carolina. Inside, they found a bloody scene. Jason Corbett was dead, beaten severely in the head. The weapons, a brick, and a baseball bat, standing nearby were Molly and her father, Thomas Martens, a retired FBI agent. They didn't deny killing Jason. Instead, they insisted it was self-defense. According to Molly and Thomas, Jason had attacked Molly during a violent argument. Thomas said he intervened to protect his daughter and that Jason's death was the tragic result of defending her. But investigators were skeptical. Jason had been struck at least 10 times. The brutality of the attack raised questions. Was this really self-defense? Or was Jason ambushed in his sleep? As shocking as the murder itself was, the aftermath was just as messy. Jason's 2 children, Jack and Sarah, were left without their father. Molly wanted custody. After all, she had been their stepmother for years, but Jason's family in Ireland fought back fiercely. They accused Molly of manipulating Jason, of isolating him from his relatives, and of planning his death to keep the children for herself. Ultimately, custody was awarded to Jason's sister in Ireland. Jack and Sarah were taken out of the United States and brought back to live with their father's family. For Molly, it was another devastating blow. IC had not only lost her husband, but the children she had helped raise. In 2017, Molly and her father Thomas were convicted of second-degree murder and sentenced to 25 years in prison. For Jason's family, it seemed like justice had been served. But the legal battle didn't end there. In 2021, the convictions were overturned due to issues with the jury instructions. During trial, this opened the door to a retrial. Rather than risk another lengthy court case, both Molly and Thomas chose to take plea deals in 2023. Molly entered a no-contest plea to voluntary manslaughter. Thomas pleaded guilty to the same charge. Their sentence time served, and in June 2024, both walked free. The decision outraged Jason's family in Ireland. They called it the betrayal of justice. A man, brutally beaten to death, and his killers released in less than a decade. To this day, the case divides opinion. Molly insists she was a victim of abuse and that her father saved her life. Jason's family insists the opposite, that Jason was murdered in cold blood, and Molly spun a false story to protect herself. The children, now grown, have spoken out as well, and their accounts don't always align with Molly's. In fact, Jack has openly said he believes his father was murdered, and he rejects Molly's version of events. So which story is true? Was Jason Corbett an abuser who pushed his wife to the edge? Or was he an unsuspecting victim, killed by the very people he trusted most? A widower marries the nanny who once cared for his children. Years later, he's found bludgeoned to death in their home. His killers, his wife and her father, now walk free. This case is more than just a family tragedy. It's a story about trust, betrayal, and a justice system that left many wondering if the truth will ever be known. What do you think? Was this truly a desperate act of self-defense? Or was Jason Corbett the victim of a carefully planned betrayal? Subscribe to stay ahead of the most shocking true crime cases and to uncover the truth behind the world's darkest mysteries.